Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of Spiritual Connections by Joelle. I'm your host, Joelle Burns, divine psychic medium, alien channeler, all the things, guys. I don't know if you knew that I wrote this book. It's available on Amazon. It's usually in all of my tabs underneath that you can just click it and go ahead and purchase it. So it's called Divine Dialogue, Insights from God, the Virgin Mary, and Beyond. So it's a book that I channeled God and I channeled the Virgin Mary. And then to make it unique, I channeled an alien that I lovingly and funnily called Adam the Arcturian. I thought he was a tall gray and in this book, and then come to find out after researching some alien species that he is Arcturian. And Arcturian are tall blue beings that love to come to Earth to help us in our ascension of who we are, the powers within ourselves, activating our psychic abilities, our healing abilities. Like, they're very powerful in those fields. They're like very good at physical manipulation, technologies, things like that. Technologies are subpart. They're more very organically driven of mind, body, consciousness kind of thing. So they're beautiful beings. Okay, so I was going to read a couple excerpts from my book this time around because I thought how interesting for you guys to get insight of my book, and especially if you're interested in getting it, that way you have like little snippets to go off of. And it's a small book. It's a very quick read. I think 125 pages overall. Where was the one? Okay. So this is when I was channeling God and I asked, what else would you like me to say? Obviously, I was already having a conversation. And I asked, what else would you like me to say? God answered, let's start at the beginning, which is, what happens when a person dies? This is one of the biggest and most controversial questions on Earth. The body is not of anything other than matter here on Earth. We must understand the soul to understand what happens when a person dies. The soul is a vibrational entity that is made of God. I created you, so why can't you be God's source? I have the highest frequency of vibrational beings. So you see, you are a soul living in a chamber of earthly matter. You move in linear time and space when you are physically in your body. Earth is a three-dimensional reality, when there are infinite dimensions across different galaxies. I share this context with you in the most primitive form due to the limitation of language. Speech can hold me back from fully explaining the worldly dynamics that such is life. The soul comes into reality when it is formed from a part of my source energy. It is almost like having an atom which splits off into another atom that are completely identical and do not have any less energy than the other. They are equal. This is how all beings from different galaxies are the same because they are all equally a part of me, God. I love when God connects with me. It's so funny because as a psychic medium, when I connect with God and started this channeling, I think I've explained to you guys before, but I'll say it again. So when I channel and when I hear spirit, I have different areas of my head that I'll feel vibrationally where they like come in. It can be the left top, it could be the right side, it could be the back, it could be, usually it's on the top somewhere. But when it's God and I'm channeling, it is like almost this direct line straight through my crown chakra, which is pretty fascinating and makes sense, right? Because if we have our soul still tethered and connected to God, connected to source, it goes straight down into our solar plexus where our soul is housed. And it's funny because I know that our soul is squeezed into these bodies. So we're more limitless on the outside. When we free ourselves of this body, when we pass, our soul feels almost expanded and alive. Like we almost have to compress our soul to be in these bodies. And so that's why just like this little pinpoint that goes right down to my tummy. And I love it. And God just, when I connect with God, it really just makes me feel like home and just me, which is very strange to explain, but it's true. Okay, so let's see. What I'm going to do is probably pull one from the Virgin Mary and then one from Adam. So that way you guys can get a little bit of everything. The Virgin Mary, when I connect with her, she's like the most loving mother, patient, the sweetest thing you ever would want to connect with. Let's see, the Virgin Mary. Where is she? I talk a little bit about Atlantis. The Virgin Mary is so cute. So I got different poems and things like that from the divine as well. So this is a poem from the Virgin Mary on my YouTube followers. I'll show you here. So I'm going to read it for you now. Okay. So I am worthy of love. I am worthy of abundance. I am worthy of health. I am worthy of friends. The Virgin Mary. Isn't that sweet? So from the Virgin Mary, I had asked her, what are we to do to manifest our desires? This was her answer. Aspirations and goals are great human traits to have. When you find something in your life that gives you meaning and fulfillment, whatever that may be, help an elderly neighbor daily, or hold the door open for a mother with a small child. These are just some examples of small acts of kindness that people can do daily. They do not go unnoticed. Keep kindness in the forefront of what you do. You will find what fills your desires the most, and then you will know exactly what and how to manifest in your life. What have you been dreaming of attaining? How do you get it? Being aligned in your true path and focusing on that, everything is a facade on this planet. Nothing is written fully, and you always have free will and can change your fate or path. Sometimes our thoughts change, but if you focus on true purpose here on earth, do no harm to anyone or anything else, you will align with your truest path here faster on earth. To attain your dream life by aligning your thoughts to your fruition with your path and what you want in this lifetime. Zero in by noting the future as if it is already happening now, because it is happening now. There is no such thing as time or space. See yourself in the clothes you will be wearing. Feel the countertops of your new home. Smell the fresh paint on the walls. Whatever you desire, and be specific. You make your reality your truth. You can honor your soul's journey by taking more time for yourself to focus on those goals. Go for long walks. Get out into nature. Rub your feet in the grass. Meditate and cook. Whatever gives you peace and clarity, then write down and journal what you get. I just love the Virgin Mary. She just is here to support, guide us, love us. Okay, so full transparency when connecting with Adam. Adam is, anytime I would connect with him, and still connect with him, sometimes I'll get a headache because of the different frequency that I adjust to connect with him. Not saying that it's a bad thing. It's just like this pressure I'll feel over my eyebrows. And he's very direct and non-emotional. They're just not emotional beings. They don't carry emotion like we do. That's a very human trait. So you have to understand where he comes from. All right. What do I find fascinating? Okay. This chapter lets us discuss health and wellness. I'm curious about you, Adam. How do you stay healthy? And do you get sick? And how do we as human beings keep ourselves healthier? There is no such thing as illness for our species of aliens. This is not the same for all aliens, but we have evolved so much that any imbalance in our physical beings will be addressed before it even becomes an illness. This is like when humans get the symptom of starting from a cold, they will often get a sore throat. We don't even get to that stage because our intellect is so powerful that we can see our genetic makeup in our bodies with our minds. and we can make slight alterations on a cellular level to create perfect harmony within our bodies. We do have healers who are among the grays as well. Remember, I thought he was gray. He's not. This is not for sickness, but more so for physical wounds. Our bodies are made up of delicate tissues like humans. We can bleed and get cuts, lose limbs, and die from forceful trauma. Most wounds can be healed through the healer using special frequencies. When someone cannot be saved, they will die, and their bodies will be recycled into our planet. And then their souls will move to the soul realm, where we all reside. I asked him, "Are you talking about heaven?" He answered, "Some humans call the soul realm heaven." Yes. Guys, it's such a good book. It was so therapeutic. If you ever get the chance or think about writing a book, it is so therapeutic. It's so amazing. It was very comforting to write this, channeling and just like automatically writing. I started physically handwriting, and it was going so fast with what they were saying. I couldn't keep up and I was hurting my hand. And then I realized I'm such a fast typer. Why don't I just type and write this? And I did. And it was amazing how I think I wrote this in 3 months. That's amazing. That's not heard of for writing a book. Maybe it's 125 pages and you can write that off. But listen, I'm pretty proud of myself. Okay. So it's always below if you wanted a copy for yourself of my book, Divine Dialogue, Insights from God, the Virgin Mary, and Beyond. Thanks for joining today's episode, and I hope you go out and have a lovely day. And as always, sending you love and light.